What's happening around the world and what's happening here at home. A very good afternoon to you. This is Lunchtime News and I'm Sandro Ferdinando and here are your headlines. Former chairman of the Security Exchange Commission, Lanka further remanded. The Ministry of Buddha Sasana says that the license of the agencies which con customers during pilgrimage trips to Dambadiva will be suspended. 200 civilians die owing to the Russian airstrike in Syria. Japan selects new stadium design for 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Former chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Lanka and two others were further remanded until the 4th of January after being produced before the Colombo Fort Magistrate Court today. Now, among those produced before the Colombo Fort Magistrate, Priyantha Liyanage was the former Director General of the SCC, Dhammika Pereira. The suspects were remanded for the misappropriation of 5 million rupees. The Mahaveli Pratibha cultural ceremony, which showcases the talents of the children living in the Mahaveli zone, was held at the Nelumpokana Mahinda Rajapaksa Theatre. President Maithripala Sirisena was invited as the chief guest of the event. The president awarded prizes to the students of the Mahaveli zone, an event which also saw them perform various acts. I'm happy for the children of the agrarian families in the Mahaveli village because the Mahaveli scholarship program has been strengthened. By further strengthening this program, we will be able to bring out the creative talents of these children. I request all the respective sectors to ensure that this program is strengthened in the future. Speaking to reporters yesterday in Colombo, Minister of Justice Vijay Das Rajapaksa commented on the agencies that deceive pilgrims heading to Dambadiva.
දඹදිව වන්දනා පිළිබඳව මින් ඉදිරියේදී මේ දඹදිව වන්දනා යාම පිළිබඳව ඒ ලියාපදිංචි කිරීම ඒ වගේම
Problems have arisen with regard to pilgrimages to Dambadiva. In the future, one should register themselves before engaging on a pilgrimage to Dambadiva. Also, if a group is engaging on a pilgrimage, the agency involved must submit the group's details including their full names and passport numbers to the ministry 2 weeks prior to departure. In the future, we will take steps to cancel the registration licenses of travel agencies or individuals who do not follow the regulations issued by the ministry and those who fail to provide the facilities they promised their clients during the pilgrimage. We make a request to the public that if you have been cheated in the past where money was obtained but services were not provided as promised, please inform our ministry about it.
ඔබ යම් කිසි රැවටීමකට ලක් වුණා නම් ඔබට වැරදි තොරතුරු දීලා මුදල් ලබාගෙන එහෙම කරදරකාරී තත්වයකට පත් වුණා නම් ඒ පිළිබඳව අපේ අමාත්‍යාංශයට දැනුම් දෙන්න.
The budget vote for the Western Provincial Council concluded yesterday. 89 members voted in favour of the budget while 6 voted against it. Expressing his views, Western Provincial Councillor Susil Kindel-Petiya said that a number of benefits to provincial councillors had been slashed. We saw how we were provided with vehicle permits from the inception of the provincial councils. A certain individual questioned me whether the loss of a vehicle permit is an issue. For a public representative, it is an issue because we do not steal. It became a tradition that when the vehicle permit was issued to the provincial councils, money was earned by selling the permit. Well, that is the truth. Only I know how much debt I got into in order to contest the election. Not a single businessman donated a rupee to me. Therefore, it is very unfair that this benefit has been taken away. I believe that if parliamentarians are provided with permits, then we should be given the same. In the same manner, if a pension is given to parliamentarians, we too should be provided with one. Minister of Irrigation and Water Supply Management Vijit Vijaymunisoisa says that his ministry controls all water-related matters.
Minister Vijit Vijay Munizoiza shared these views participating at a program in Kurunegala to facilitate the control of chronic kidney disease and sustainable development.
බොහෝ දෙනෙක් හිතන්නේ මේ water supply board එකට ජල සැපයන කියන්නේ මේ රවුෆක්කිම මෙතුමාගේ අමාත්‍යාංශයට තමයි කරන්නේ වතුර ඔක්කොම අයිති. එයාට අයිති වතුර විකුණන්න විතරයි. අපිට තමයි නෛතික බලය.
Many think that the water supply board is under Minister Rauf Hakim. He only has the power to sell water. We have the legal rights pertaining to water sources, underground water sources, as well as rivers and streams and any other water. The Department of Irrigation is vested with the right to manage and conserve these resources. Unfortunately, the powers that have been vested with the ministry with regard to what actions need to be taken have not been published through a gazette. After my arrival, the gazette was issued and the right to water was ensured.
ක්‍රියාමාර්ග ගැනීම තියා අඩුම තරමින් අපේ අමාත්‍යාංශයේ මේ අපිට තියෙන බලය පිළිබඳ ගැසට් පත්‍රය නිකුත් කළා නැහැ. ඉතින් මම ආවට පස්සේ තමයි මේ ගැසට් පත්‍රය නිකුත් කළා මේ ජලය පිළිබඳ තියෙන අයිතිය තහවුරු කරගෙන ඒ සඳහා අවශ්‍ය නිසි ක්‍රියාමාර්ග ගන්න කටයුතු කරමින් පවතිනවා.
The government medical officers came under fire with a barrage of allegations during a media briefing by the trade union collective of the government, semi-government and private sectors. When 2,500 rupees was added to the basic salary, the Medical Officers Association complained, saying that this brings in division in terms of salary anomalies between the top and bottom tiers, and added that therefore this requires the introduction of the ratio and not an increase in wages. Thereafter, they urged that the 1:12 ratio is compulsory. The ratio of these rates currently stands at 1:4.05 in the country. The basic salary starts from 11,730 rupees at present. This has a ratio gap of about 1:4.05. The salary of permanent secretary is around 48,000 rupees. According to their request, a 1:12 ratio hike means their salaries will increase to over 120,000. They seem to care about their living standards over the living standards of the poor. So what we have to say is that the ratio should not be the main concern but the basic salary of the poor. If the authorities fail to provide the 2,500 wage increase to the basic salary of the poor as a result of their protest, we, the trade unions collective of the government, semi-government and private sectors, pledge to launch an island-wide trade union action. Deputy Speaker Thilanga Sumadipala commented on the domestic economy and physical resources at an event in Kolonnava.
This event was held to present equipment to the low-income families in Kolonnava to commence self-employment initiatives under the Livelihood Development Programme.
ගමේ ආදායම් ටික වැඩි වුණාම ගම් ටික එකතු වෙලා තමයි නගරයක් බවට පත් වෙන්නේ. නගර කිහිපයක් එකතු වෙලා තමයි.
When the village income increases, a town comes to life. The electorate is a collective of towns. If we strengthen the economic status of the grassroots, we will be able to make your families more strong. You cannot simply develop the domestic economy with physical resources.
යටිතල පහසුකම් වලින් විතරක් භෞතික සම්පත් වලින් පමණක් ගෘහස්ත ආර්ථිකය දියුණු කරන්න බෑ.
Speaking in LPTA yesterday, UPFA MP Geeta Kumarasinghe commented on her policies.
This event was held to present allocations for the preschools in the LPTA electorate.
මගේ ප්‍රතිපත්ති කවදාවත් මම වෙනස් කරන්නේ නැහැ.
I will never change my policies. Some say that I'm looking for a ministerial portfolio. No. More than that, I consider making my voice heard when there is injustice, when the voice of a woman from South cannot be heard. I will serve in the parliament for your victory forever.
පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ මගේ හඬ අවදි කරමින් ඔබේ ජයග්‍රහණය වෙනුවෙන් සදාකාලික වැඩ කරන එක.
United National Party MP Harshana Rajakaruna commented on the female representation in the upcoming provincial council election.
Certificates were presented to those who completed the program by the Vanita Abhimanu Women's Society in Negombo. For the first time in the history of Sri Lanka, we have changed the rules of the country, and it is must to have at least 25% female representation in the provincial councils. I believe this is very important. You all have the opportunity to support the political decisions that are made.
දායකත්වය ලබා දෙනවා.
A special ceremony was organized in Colombo in line with the 80th anniversary of the Lanka Samaj Party.
The event was organized by the majority faction of the Lanka Samaj Party that was held at New Town Hall, Colombo yesterday.
ජනවාරි 9 වෙනිදා පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට ඉදිරිපත් කරනවා අලුත් ව්‍යවස්ථාවක් පිළිබඳ යෝජනාව. වාමාංශික පක්ෂවල අපිට විශාල යුතුයකමක් තිබෙනවා.
The proposal for a new constitution will be presented to Parliament on the 9th of January. As leftist parties, we have a large responsibility to participate in this dialogue. Even now, racists have begun to shout. In the near future, even a Norwegian will not be able to pass by the country. They will say that he has come to make a constitution. They make such false statements. This constitution is being drafted by Sri Lankans. The public representatives in Parliament advised them. Aside of the political community and civil society, you, the general public, should influence as to what kind of a constitution is needed for the country. One characteristic of this government is that it can be influenced by public opinion. That is a positive characteristic. It's unlike the previous government. Therefore, certain proposals of the budget were withdrawn due to public influence. The initial situation of the EPF and ETF have changed today as a result of trade unions having a definitive stand on the matter.
සමහර යෝජනා ජනතාව පිළිගන්නේ නැති යෝජනා හකුලාගත්ත හැටි. අද EPF එක ETF එක ගැන තිබුණ මුල් තත්ත්වය වෙනස් වුණේ මේ රටේ වෘත්තීය සමිති ගත්ත ස්ථාවරයේ හේතු කොටගෙන.
Now moving back to some local news, the Janata Sevaka Party convened a media briefing in Colombo.
අයවැය සම්මතුනේ ආණ්ඩුව කියන විදිහට පාර්ලිමේන්තුව ඇතුලේ තුලින් දෙකේ වැඩි ඡන්දයක.
The government claims that the budget was passed with a 2/3 majority in Parliament. However, in the People's Parliament, the budget was defeated with a 2/3 majority. It is clear that this was the budget which saw many objections being raised. A large number of amendments were made. This is a budget that shows the issues of the consensual government. When people lose faith in this policy statement, no one will make investments, and under this situation, the government will have no funds to fulfill the promises. The JVP is also in a bad state. The people have rejected them. They need to criticize themselves for bringing this government into power.
පළමුව කළ යුත්තේ වක්‍රව හෝ මේ ආණ්ඩුව බලයට ගෙනීම පිළිබඳව සංවේදනය කරන්න.